Hey YouTubers, Tazman here, and I think we're up to our final part of the building of the computer. All we really have left is to connect all our different leads and we need to put on our CPU, and we got it. We got our fan. Oh, turn the right side up. That's a big honking box for a fan. Alright, so I'm going to open this guy up real quick. Secure mounting kit for AMD, secure mounting kit for Intel, we need that. We need the accessories. And oh my gosh, this thing is huge! I did not expect it to be this big. Holy cow! This is the biggest fan I've ever seen for a CPU in a computer. This is nuts. Holy cow. That thing is a monster. Look at that thing. It's like the entire computer. Wow. And it says it's RAM safe, so hopefully they're not lying, because, oh actually yeah, because it goes like this. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Oh. Wow, that CPU is not going to overheat, not with this monster on top of it. Dang. Okay. I have literally never seen a fan quite that big for a CPU. They are pretty big, but that's a first. And that was the one that was recommended on the page. So we don't need this kit. This is for AMD. So we're not doing AMD. We want the Intel, which is actually heavier. So now, I just can't get over that fan, man. Holy. Excuse me. Alright. So now what we want to do is put in our CPU. Now, nowadays, the nice thing about CPUs is they don't have pins on them anymore. The pins are actually on here, because it used to be that the bottom of the CPU had like a couple hundred pins on the back of it just hanging, and it was really easy to just bump a single one, and all of a sudden you had to try and straighten them all just to get it to fit just right. And I've spent hours upon hours sometimes getting some old AMD processors, or not, well yeah, it was AMD, but it was a 486 processor, to get all the pins straightened. So this particular motherboard actually has, and maybe it's just the, what's this one called again? 11, I can't remember. The socket on this is like 1120 or something. LGA 2011. I was close. So anyway, there's two little pieces here. This one actually locks by this one. So this one acts simply as a lock. Once that's done, then we can push this one over, pull it up, and now we can see where the CPU actually goes. So we lift this guy up. You'll see that there's a ton of little pins in there. And that's where we set our CPU. So here we have our Intel Core i7 processor. Very exciting. And let's grab it out. And I apologize for my sniffing and stuff. I was previewing one of these videos, and oh man, it's loud and irritating, and I apologize for that. I've got a bad cold, but I really wanted to get this video out. So as you can see, this actually has no pins. It's just a nice flat surface with lots of contacts that these pins come into contact with. And the CPU, I believe, will only go in one way. They used to have it so there was a notch cut into it, and there is a little arrow right here. So let me just make sure. So we got an arrow right there. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna turn on I need to get a light. I'm gonna pause this just for a minute. I will see you in just a second. I don't know if you can see this, but right here on the metal, there's a tiny little arrow. Probably can't see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oop, other in. Turn it. Come on, rotate. See that tiny little arrow right there? So that's also what this tiny arrow right here is for. Now notice when you grab your CPU, you want to only hold it on the sides because you don't want to get oil on that. Oh, now I'm zoomed in way too far. About right there. So you don't want to get your oils and stuff on that. So you want to be very careful and hold the CPU just on the edges of the IC board. And you want to line this tiny little triangle up with that triangle right there. So we're going to go ahead and set that in like that. I believe that's in. Yep. Alright, and then this actually has a piece of plastic on top. We just need to remove this guy. So this is just to keep those pins in there safe. I still can't get over that fan. And now that we've done that, we can actually go ahead and lock down the CPU right here. So we got to get that piece right there, and then the one that locks that into place. Wait a minute. There we go. U, and then finally U. So that will hold our CPU in there really nice and tight. Next thing we need is the accessory kit here, and probably the Intel kit. And I've never used this kind of fan before, if you couldn't tell by my shocked opening of it and seeing how big it was. So in here it looks like we have a little bar guy there, and one over here. We'll set those right there. We have a little bag of nuts and bolts right here. We'll just set that up there. And then we have our actual mounting bracket. Alright, so let's grab out these little guys and make sure we do this. Installing the mounting bars. Oh, I hate this cold. Alright, so we have mounting bars, not these dumb brackets. Okay, so what we're going to need is these little funky ones with the threads on both the top and the bottom. And it looks like, in this case, we have a really fine thread on the bottom, or actually the top, and then this fat thread. So these will end up going on the upper side, so that is the top. So what we need to do is just put these guys in and screw, screw, screw. That guy's screwed in. I still get a huge kick out of the size of that fan. Oh my gosh. Alright, there's that one. And finally, here is that one. So it says the next step is to figure out what you want for the orientation of the fan. So we want, let's see, the wind is, the air is going to blow through there. So we probably want the hot air to go out the back. So I think we want it to be, I don't know, maybe, actually no, we'd want hot air to go up. Something like that, I believe. My heavens, I can't believe that thing's size. Right? Is that right? Or no, this takes air and pushes it in. Yeah, that's how I'm going to want it, because I'm going to want it to pull the air up and push it out the back. And the air is being vented out the back. So we'd actually want it this way, I think. Alright, so we'll worry about that in a minute. So we want our two side brackets now. They will go, looks like the bend goes towards the outside. So we'll put one right here, like that. And one right here, like, there, like that. And then we use these little nuts to secure that. So let's grab those real quick. Okay, so do that. And screw you in right there. You in right there. And this one. So on this we have the brackets, so these little posts are sticking up, which is what we need. And let's give those a quick tighten turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And there we go. Then what we want to do now, this is the important part, we want to put some of this thermal paste on here. Now, just putting this metal on the back of the CPU isn't enough to really transfer the heat very well. So they give you this thermal paste right here. They give you this thermal paste right here so that you can, this actually transfers heat very, very well. So we need to open you up. I don't think I need any of those little plasticky things, do I? Fan set up, no. Adding a second fan, don't care about that. Yeah, so here's what we want to do, is we want to get our thermal paste, which looks like this little syringe, and you just want a small drop, which I always tend to overdo. Let's see, do you unscrew? Yep. So here we have it. We just want to add a drop or so right here to the middle. Come on. I don't know how hard to push. There we go. So as you can see, we have a nice drop there. And that will transfer heat from the CPU to the fan much, much more efficiently. Alright, so we are now over here on this step, fastening the heatsink to the CPU. Okay, so it says we want to take the fan off the heatsink. How on earth do you do that? Oh, it's right here. So we want to take the fan off the heatsink by pulling up on this clip. Come on. Just like that. And that takes our fan off. Then notice this has this on it to keep you from getting your oily fingers all over it. So we want to go ahead and now take off this plastic. And we're going to go ahead and put this down on top of the heatsink. Or not the heatsink, the wow, that's really close right there. That's close on the video card. You don't want those electronics touching. And then this came with this tall screw guy. So let's see if this will work. Can't tell if I'm on that yet. Let's lift it up real quick. Looks like I am. So let's do this side. Get out of the way. Yeah, that's definitely on. And let's do this side. And we need to push down on it just a little bit, it appears. But getting that lined up right is not easy. Let's loosen this side back up just a little so we have a little more flex. I think we might. Nope, we're not in it yet. Oh. Wow, why would this be the hardest part of the whole build? Oh, am I recording? Yeah, good. Okay, just making sure I hit record again after that last time. Push that way. And come on, go in. Grab it. Oh, I'm not lining that up right. Still not there. Alright, I'm probably going to pause the video. You don't have to watch me doing this. That's good. So I will see you guys in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Oh my heck, that's a pain in the bum. Alright, so we're going to tighten this a couple times. And then tighten this side a couple times. And then back over here. That's tight. And that's tight. Alright, so there is our ginormous heatsink. It's so big. Alright, so the next step is going to be putting our fan back on. And we want to, let me just think for a second. So we have, the air is going to be pulled in through here. So if this is the back, this is blowing, yeah, that's the back, so that's blowing out. So I think we actually want it on this side. And watch, this is going to probably be the biggest beast ever to get back on. I might have to take out the video card for a minute. Just so I don't overstress it, which I definitely don't want to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the video card because I think that'll make it a lot easier. And instead of making things harder, why not make them easier? Although this probably has that funky release. Oh, hold on, I gotta get something. Okay, so we're back. So now the video card has this tiny little piece right here that you have to pop. So I don't know if you can see it, but see each of these things have this little piece that goes up and down. So I just pushed a screwdriver down there and popped it back. Yeah, I don't think this guy was on right yet. Let's see, so if we come down here, there we go. That's right. Okay, then we'll do this side. Just like that. Fans on nice and tight. And that gives us room to put our power cord, or our fan. I don't know, can you see that right here? Kind of, that little white one. That is the CPU fan plug. So there we go. Now we have our fan plugged in. Now we can actually start going through and plugging in all these other fans. Right next to where that one was is where you plug in the other fan. We're just going to hook this fan up to this one, I believe, like so. And then take this fan and plug it into the next one, right next to it. Put that guy there. Alright. We've got a fan here. We'll do that in just a minute. Alright, so now we got this guy in place, nice and secure. So we're going to put back our video card yet again. Oh, funny. And let's see, push you in right there. And come on. It wants to cross thread right there. Let's put you in this side then. And that side. Make sure our card's in nice and tight. And tighten these two guys up. And now we're doing good. Okay, so there we go. We've now got our CPU, our fan, our video cards back in. Now we want to start plugging in some of these other guys. Actually, it had an extension too I could have used. Low noise adapter. I do not know what a low noise adapter is, but okay. Guess it makes it so it's not so noisy. Alright, so first we're going to take our USB 3.0, and when I was pointing out what components are inside here, this one and this one right here are USB 3s. It looks like we have one USB 3, 12 and 34. We'll just, I guess, choose the lower of the two. I don't think it really matters. Then here we have our USB. This is for our USB ports on the front. And you know, I might want to, let's do this. We're going to take these out that hole and bring them in through the bottom. I think it'll look just a little better. And get that view off. It's like so. Alright, so what we're going to do is take these two guys. See how messy it is over on this side? Alright, so I'm going to feed these two right through here. Actually, I'm going to do this audio one too because it goes over there. Actually, I think I'm going to do them all. Now I'm thinking about it. We don't want to pull this guy off. So we're going to push him through careful. Pull this guy through and this guy through. Just like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is There's one of these that I don't need to go where we're going, I don't think. No, everything's going through here, right? Yeah, so we're going to put everything through this bottom guy, just to keep the wires a little nicer. Once again, apologizing for my runny nose. I really hate it. Alright, so there's those. Let's get this guy. I might have to run this on the upper piece. Here. See, does that make it reach? Yeah, good. That one's fine as is. Is this the audio? Yes. This one needs to be up the top too. So I'll do that. And this guy, go reach right where he is. This guy reach where he is. Okay, so let's go ahead and tip it back down. I just fed all those cables through. So we're going to take him and plug him into there. Can you see that? Yes. Back where he was. So now he doesn't go across. Looks a lot better. This is the one that says HD audio. Way over here is where he plugs in. You can tell how he plugs in. I don't know. Can you see? Let's see, zoom in. Wrong in. See how it has a missing pin there? That's so you can't screw it up. So if it doesn't go in easily, then you might want to try and turn it around and do it the other way. So let's see, we got him. See, nice and flush. Yep. And then we have our USB, and we have two USB ports just right here. Can you see those? Right there. We're just going to choose the first one. And once again, this has a missing pin to make it so you can't do it wrong. Well, you're not supposed to be able to do it wrong. Some people will find a way. And then finally, we have our little block here that we were doing. And that goes right here. And it's got a bunch of missing pins. So it only goes in one way. And there's that. Oh, I hate this cold. Okay, so next, all we really have to do now is run our SATA cables. And I believe we will be ready to go. Oh, sorry about that again. Alright, so what we're going to do is, now there's a bunch. I'm kind of questioning this because it doesn't give clear instruction. Well, actually, I gotta go just for a minute, so I'll see you in a minute.